upon this case where this woman grew up in a two-family household, and from what was explained, it was a decent family. She felt loved. It was a loving family home. It's a safe family home. Okay? These are, what statistically we often see in the research and what bears out by people's life circumstances as healthy for a child to be in. A healthy environment, just the average working American loving parent environment, right? The parents focus really hard on ensuring that she put education first, work ethic as she got older, be on time, have manners, all the things that really in tune invested parents do, right? That's the foundation. At some point, she ends up married at 23 years old, this young lady I'm about to talk about, and then I'm going to branch out from there. 23 years old, she ends up married. They say, it didn't work out. She got a divorce. After she had 3 kids with the guy, they had a divorce. They're saying, she must have been too young, even though, some people get married very young and are just fine. But that's neither here nor there. So that didn't work out. She's 23. By the time she hits 26, 27-ish, she starts to work for this bank. Okay? She works for the bank, and she's doing great. She starts from teller, and she rises all the way to manager. This person, she's described as astute. She is brilliant, they say. She's bright. She has an amazing work ethic. People know her in the community. She's well known. All around great gal. Okay? All right, that's the layout. Some guy wanders into her bank one day to do banking business, and they take a liking to each other. Okay? They take a liking to each other. They start dating each other, and there are no indications that there's anything wrong with this person. Wonderful. She's like, I hit the jackpot. I hit the jackpot. I'm a divorcee of 3 children. Fine. And here is a person, a guy, taking a liking to me, and he doesn't care that I have 3 kids. Wonderful. Who could ask for anything more? I'm young. I'm thriving. I have a good career. Yes, right? And then around the second, so I'm watching this. I'm like, this is good, but it is a case where things didn't turn out well. So she said everything was going great, right? By month 3, he suggests they rob the bank she works at. You heard me. She suggests they rob the bank. He goes, I've got it all planned out. Listen, both of us are not making that great of money. We could be wealthy or rich or whatever dream he sold her. He cast a vision in her head. Okay? She's taking this in. He gave her a dream. Now, some people do this. They give you a dream. They set it all up, and they answer your fantasy. Okay? He already answered her fantasy by showing up in her life and wanting to be a caretaker or, provider to she and her children. She was already gone and swept away by month 3. And he felt comfortable enough. Let's just really take this in. He felt comfortable enough to suggest that this young lady who is thriving at this job, she has no criminal record, no criminal history. She is beloved in her community. She's doing well. Is she doing great? No. This woman isn't earning 6 figures, but she's doing well, and she could grow from there. She has proven that she can grow from there. She's already manager. She could probably move wherever she wants to move into. Finances, go get your degree, master, start your own business, whatever you want to do. The sky's the limit for her. And she had nothing but support. But within 3 months, 3, of knowing this person, he felt comfortable enough to suggest robbing the bank. Not, hey, listen, you are an amazing woman. I'm really enjoying your company. I really enjoy you. I think your kids are well-mannered, whatever. How did you do it? I didn't grow up with 2 parents, or I grew up this way, or I had this issue, or I had this challenge. Whatever challenges, she could have been an inspiration, okay, to him. Instead of saying, What do you think I should do? What do you think? What steps would you take if were you in my shoes? I have not gone to college. I don't think I'm really interested in college. Have a conversation with your mates. Okay, this is the woman that you're totally into. But no, he already had a scheme set up in his mind. He was just reeling her in, reeling her in. The moment he saw her at that bank, he already said, yes, yes, this can work. Let's see. Give or take a few weeks or a few months, I'll have her right where I want her. Okay? Some people do this. Sorry to burst your bubble. The people that love their romance novels and they love their rom-coms and no, I think everybody is good. I see the good in everybody. No, there's actually some people, as the scripture says, there are some people waking up intending to do harm against other people. You wake up on a Tuesday to go to the gym or the grocery store. They wake up on a Tuesday and say, "Who can I hurt today?" They exist. So just burst that bubble and get rid of it. Okay? You got to have the balance of there are good people in the world, but I'm not going to paint a broad general brush and say there's good in everybody. Okay? Because they will even tell you that no, I've been like this since I was a kid when I first doing things to animals or taking money out of my grandmother's purse or whatever. They will tell you, okay? So these people exist. They plot, they plan. It's almost like they are predators in a forest looking for prey, okay? And they even call you prey because we hear these things on a lot of cases where they say that out of their own mouths. All right, so let me move along. So he presents the idea to her. Bada bing, bada boom. She accepts it. She pushed back a little bit. Oh no, oh my God, I don't know. I've never done anything like that before. But listen, we can have a whole life together. We don't have to worry about this. We'll have plenty of money. We can leave here. We could live real nice somewhere else, you and me. And in her mind, she thought, you and me, he just wants us. Not thinking about her kids at all. Not thinking about it. He's like, this is foolproof. It did not dawn on her to say, why would an average person think that this is a great idea and you already have a plan? Have you done this before? Yeah, he had done it before. Okay. I know when I have said when you're dating, and this is for men or women, because I've seen men get taken as well. They just don't talk about it because they're embarrassed and they feel like they're going to be laughed out of the police department or they're going to be laughed by their friends. You let a woman take advantage of you, the stereotypes still exist. They're human. They fall in love too, and they get themselves in trouble. Okay? He, in her head, she thought, wow, it's just going to be you and me on some island together for the rest of our lives, living off the money. Not that the money will ever run out, right? And I always back to my point, I always say, go on ahead and get a background check on people. That might sound extreme, but you've got to think about it. This is your life. This person is invited into your home, okay? And you might share children with this person one day. You don't want to do a background check? Some of this stuff is public. You don't want to go down to your local police department and put Joe Schmo's name in and say, is there anything on this person? Or do a little check on Google. You don't want to do anything like that? Why? They're strangers. I already know why. That's a whole nother video. These people are strangers. But for some of you who are already dating, this is why for some of you that are dating, this is why I do these videos. Because while not everybody's going to listen, because they think that even though things are not working out for them, they still think, no, I have the answer. I'm not going to listen to this. There's always that one person that's doing exactly what I'm talking about, or what other coaches, therapists, whoever, their friends, their neighbors, their pastor, their siblings, their best friends. There's always someone out there that's doing exactly what I'm talking about, and they're not listening. If this is you, go ahead and listen. Because what am I, the 52nd person that said this? Okay, here is your message, as they say. She ends up falling for the dream, okay, of the fantasy that he painted for her, because that's his job. I heard somewhere where con artist is, oh, I know this thing is not, okay. This thing is on a timer. I didn't realize it. I'll be right back. Gotta go. Ciao. Okay, part two. All right, so the base of con artists is to gain your confidence. Confidence. Okay, so this is what he was doing. He was conning her into this space where she believed she was in a bona fide relationship with a beautiful future. And she could have had that had she done her due diligence, which is what I talk about all the time. Okay. This happens to be a guy that did it to a young lady, but this happens to men too. So just reverse. Men just don't talk about it all the time because they will get embarrassed or humiliated by their friends. And, there's a sense of pride there for them. Not all of them, but we're talking about the majority of them where that would be embarrassing. Okay, so they might not talk about it. Doesn't mean that they don't all talk about it. So he sets up this robbery of the bank. She pretends the other teller didn't know. He handcuffs both of them, but he leaves hers partially undone so that she could get out of her handcuffs and put the code into the safe and he can get out the money. So he pulled everything off. He blackened out the camera so the police couldn't see him on camera, blah, blah, blah. However, he didn't realize that there's cameras in stores. So where he bought the handcuffs, there they both were, him and her, with her children at the register purchasing the handcuffs. Okay, so that's how, and this is longer, but I'm making it short. That is how they both got caught. She was in her late 20s. She ends up charged and sentenced to like 20 years or so. So I guess she'll be out maybe 50 years old, they said, but I can't remember how long the sentence was. The whole point is her life. That's it. Gone. At least the part as she knew it. And while the guy was hiding out, okay, this man was divorced also. That's how they trauma bonded. They trauma bonded because they were also both divorced, this girl and this guy. And he said his wife is taking him for all he's got. That's why he needed the money from the bank and we can run off together. When he was in hiding while they were apart and the police were doing their investigation, they found him at the ex-wife's house. So what was he doing over there? So once she found out all that information, she gave up all of the crime plans that they had planned together. So apparently he was back with the ex-wife. Who knows? I feel saddened for her and people like her because these are things that are easy to find out. Again, this is not about victim blaming or blame shifting. He had a role obviously to play, but you have a role in your dating as well. You have a role, whether you're a guy watching this or a woman watching this. This channel is primarily for Christian women dating, but anyone can benefit from this because I'm going to continue talking about a whole host of issues and topics. Everything starts with relationship, especially when you go back into your childhood. Some of you are still being affected by their relationships in your childhood. So again, this is not about division between men and women. I am not about that. I don't care for those topics in terms of people, all men do this and all women do that. No, this is not the channel for that. This is also not a debate channel. I'm not going to debate you on anything. If you take issue with anything I say, go create your own channel. You can talk about whatever you want all day long. But welcome. If you're here to learn, not just for yourself, but to help other people, welcome. And I just pray that you all be safe out there because it's not just about noticing the red flags, men or women. It's not just about noticing the red flags. You need to notice them for your very breath, your life, because some of you are taking chances out there where it's not that you're coming home brokenhearted. You're not coming home at all. There are people out there missing because they didn't do their due diligence. Okay, so I will continue to do these videos and I'm in the middle of a work day. Gotta go. Ciao.